Hi, this is Caitlin,
This is Gabby.
and welcome back to AvengeGirls and Friends.
Oh, we're back for another Fast and Furious movie.
Yes,
Number 6. We're getting close to the end. When does number 9 come out? I'm so ready.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out this year in like May, and then they pushed it back. So we'll see if they push it back again. I don't know.
No, I didn't know it wasn't still coming out in May, son of a bitch.
Or I'm sorry, no. It was I phrased that wrong. I forget it's 2021 now. It was supposed to come out May 2020.
Oh, okay.
And they pushed it back till I assume May 2021. But again, I'm not sure if they'll do it again.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Huge bummer.
Yeah. But I'm very excited about this movie because...
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, in the meantime, we'll talk about the movie we do have.
The 6. Furious 6. I forget what it's called.
It's Fast and Furious 6.
Furious 6. The naming scheme. I only ever remember Fate of the Furious and F9 because, they're new and have a catchy naming scheme.
Yes, exactly.
They get kind of muddled in the middle of the series. But this one, I took so many notes on accident because I forgot how much that I...
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I love this movie.
It was like 3 solid pages of notes and reactions. It was so much to deal with.
I had to cut them down, and I don't think I did that well at cutting them down. But they're a little bit shorter now for you, Gabby.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
It was one of those things where I think every episode until this one, I've been saying that Fast 5 and the 7th one are my favorites, like, of all time. And I said, if my memory serves, I didn't like number 6 as much. But no, this movie is
You were wrong.
Yeah, it's so good, and it's so funny. Like, I laughed so many times during this. It's the funniest Fast and Furious movie, hands down. I mean, Too Fast, Too Furious is pretty funny.
That's true. That one is really good. I'm going to have to wait until I see all of them to make a judgment.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, where do you want to start?
Oh, man. There's so much in this movie that I like. I guess we can kind of go in chronological order, like, throughout the movie, which does bring us to start talking about Brian and Dom and how in love with each other they are. Because the first 15 minutes, I swear to God, are just like, Dom and Brian, they're it for each other,
Truly, though. I was so astounded by the way everyone dropped everything for Dom, like, right away. They all got phone calls, like, they were in the middle of, like, important shit or really cool shit, and they were like, Dom needs me. I gotta go.
Turn this plane around. Turn my private jet around.
Oh my God, fucking...
It's Roman, bitches.
It's Roman, bitches. That was incredible. I appreciate that level of commitment to ego.
Yes. I think he is one of my favorite characters. He's so funny.
You're right. No, that was so good. But get back to the Dom and Brian focus from the beginning, I just the way Brian sadly says we got everything. I'm like, wow, who could have guessed that you wouldn't be happy being a normal person? Oh, anyone who's watched any of these movies.
I was like, wow, Gabri, at the end of last episode. I think you literally said, like...
I was like, that's not gonna last.
Yeah, you know that they're not going to be happy.
And that was right.
It just doesn't feel like home. Which, I mean, that theme carries through till the end, because they finally have the home in the end. 13.7.
Oh my God.
They get to barbecue!
That was the cutest thing ever. I was like, what does that mean? And then I was like, oh! Mm-hmm. As soon as it... cut away to the house. Oh my God.
Have they barbecued before in this series?
Have they?
Yeah. Like, do you remember in your mind?
I don't remember. I feel like they have.
Okay. Because
we've definitely gotten a grace scene in the backyard before, so I have to assume that they did.
They've barbecued before. Okay. Because, like, in my mind, barbecues, like, fam barbecues are, like, synonymous with the Fast and Furious franchise. But then I was like, this is the 6th movie. If this is the first time that they did it, it's not as synonymous as I'm, like, thinking. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I'm fairly certain
that they did. 3. Okay, that's good. Because it's one of my favorite parts about the franchise, too. Like, it's, like, the symbol of family,
Right.
They're having barbecues together. What's more American than that?
Capitalism.
You're not wrong.
I'm not here to mess around.
No. Anyways, Brian and Dom, though. The one line, I think I tweeted about this, and I don't think you had started watching. Yeah,
no, then I saw it, and I was like, excuse me?
When Brian goes, I'm going with you, and he talks to Mia about it, and she's like, you're stronger together, you always were. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Like, definitely some part of her recognizes, like, they're, like, something more than friends. They're platonic soulmates.
Yes, absolutely.
If I must.
If you must, bring it down from the romance level. But at
my eyebrow is so high on my forehead right now.
I was just gonna say, I wish you all could see. I've never seen an eyebrow go that high before. It's impressive, really.
I have one talent.
Platonic soulmate shit. Like, dang.
The other moment I really liked in this that was kind of encapsulated their dynamic was when Brian realized he was going to have to go talk to Braga in prison in the US. And, like, so they recognize when one of them owes the other for something. Because, like, he says he's going to go see him even though he'd get, like, arrested once he's off the plane. And Dom's like, yeah, okay, you go do that. Yeah. Like, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to.
They don't, like, ask each other to, like, change or do something different. They just know when they have to do it for each other. You know what I mean? It's not like Dom saying, you need to go do this because I need, information for Letty. It was Brian saying, I need to do this because I know it's the right thing to do to make it up to you. I just cry, This is
like the instance where you'd say, like, real, like, king shit or whatever, but that's not really what I want to say. I don't have a word for the middle of that sentence.
Yeah, because it's not really king shit. It's that platonic soulmate shit.
No, that's not it either. Very frustrating.
Keep thinking on it. We can come back to that. I had another... Oh, I was going to say, just to piggyback off of that, the Braga scene. Watching these movies back to back, I know we're doing them like a month at a time this season, but we're still watching them back to back, and it is illuminating. Like, I've never watched them in order like this.
Oh, okay.
Before, like, usually I would watch, like, I don't know, like, let's say Tokyo Drift, and then we'll do Fast Five and the seventh one, and then maybe the second one. Like, they're completely out of order when I watch them usually. And watching them, like I was like, Braga? Oh my god! It was just something I didn't like remember or like put together before because I didn't watch them in order before. And now I'm like, I got what you're saying. That Braga.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. I love the little continuity shit in these movies. It's so good.
Speaking of continuity, just when Brian broke that guy's nose again, I was like, did you not do that already to him?
Yeah, I had the same thought, and then, like, the guy literally goes, again?
The most betrayed voice.
Ryan, I'm helping you this time, again? So funny.
Maybe let's talk about the villains in this movie, the newcomers, so to speak, to the franchise as characters. Gina Carano. Who I recognized right away. I was like, what is she doing here? and then towards the end, when that thing happens, I'm like, oh, motherfucker, I should have known. Like,
so she was
just because she's such a dickhead in real life.
I should have known you would be evil.
Like, when she gets yeeted out of the plane, I was like, that's what you get for being a transphobe, bitch.
Hey. I forgot. I mean, I think I wrote that or expressed in my notes that, like, I'd forgotten she was even in this. Like, I forgot that character was even, like, important. Like, that's how inconsequential she was in my head, the new partner character. I feel like her introduction was almost exact same as Elena's, Elsa Pataki's.
Yeah, it basically is. Because they're serving the same function. And then you even see at the end of the film that Elena's gone, like, right back to, like, helping Hobbs out. So that's
interesting.
unfortunate maybe that they're so kind of interchangeable like that, except Elena's obviously like a good person, and we'll have to talk about that in a minute here, but
yes.
I find it interesting that that I want to like talk about her a ton, because I don't think she deserves to be talked about. Just I find it interesting that I don't remember it being mentioned when she was cast in The Mandalorian that she was even in this. Like, it was a while ago, so that's possible that I've just, like, forgotten and people were talking about it. But, like, this is, like, still a major, thing. I don't remember anyone ever mentioning that, so...
And it's funny, because when you, like... I was like, oh, who is this? Like, I have no idea what her name is, right? Like, it was halfway through the movie, and I was like, she's just the partner. And I, like, Googled it, and everywhere on Google, so you'd have to, like, you know how Google will just pull random, like, information, it's usually 90% accurate. All Google had on her, on the Google site for Hobbs' partner, or Fast and Furious 6 cast, was just DSS agent. Like,
really,
it didn't name her, and I had to do like some serious searching into like the wiki and IMDb to figure out that her name is Riley Hicks. Like, so I mean, that says a lot. Like, she's not important.
Yeah.
No offense, Riley.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I just wished I could like her, because I like when people do that spinning headlock thing.
Oh, my favorite. Yeah. That Natasha move.
But alas.
We cannot.
On the other hand, you have the exemplar of cool agents helping Hobbs out, which is Elena Nevis.
Yes.
Right? Nevis?
I think it's Nevis, yeah.
Okay. And oh man, I did not expect that reaction from her at the beginning. Yeah. I was like, wow, you are a really good person.
Yes.
Wow.
She has like you could just tell just from that one line, the like, like, I forget what she says exactly, like, you should go because that's what I would want to do if my husband came back, if there was any way. Like, the amount of, like, emotional maturity, you never see that in any character. I was like, wow.
I think you've
done all your growing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I feel like, I mean, that's kind of why they connected in the beginning anyway, because they were both in that position. So, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. The roles had been reversed, like, Dom would have definitely let her go do that too, probably. Yeah, so that makes sense. But wow, she's so cool. I love that she was staying with Mia and everything. Wow.
There's one, so that's like the one thing that like bothers me, I guess. I mean, I guess we don't know how long it's been since the end of Fast 5 and the start of Fast and Furious 6. It has to be at least 6 months, right? Because she's had the baby.
Yeah.
You don't really start showing till the second trimester. I might be pulling this out of nowhere. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I don't know how biology works.
We don't know babies. We've talked about
I'm not here for science.
Yeah. But I'm gonna wager that it's at least 6 months. And at that point, like she knows Mia. They seem like they're all like really close. Like, is Elena not a part of the family? And then the fact that she like leaves at the end. Like, Dom actually says to her, doesn't he? Like, oh, you're family too. It just hurts that she's like, no, I'm not. You know, I mean, like, the police is my family. What?
No, I don't think that's what's happening. I think that, despite the level of emotional immaturity it would take to let Dom go after Letty because she turned out to be alive, I still wouldn't want to be hanging around there either.
Fair. Yeah, that's
like,
very
I'm pretty sure that's the only reason that she decides not to hang out with the fam. Like, I don't think I would either.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm also not in the place where I'd be like, this is fine, you can go.
Yeah, like, just because you can make emotionally mature decisions doesn't mean they don't fucking suck.
Yeah. Oof. Ain't you right? And Elena, this is not the last time we see Elena.
Oh, cool.
So that's good. I'm trying to remember, based on, she comes back in the next, or not the next movie, in Fate of the Furious.
Okay.
And she has another like interesting role in that, or interesting decision that she has made. So I'm looking forward to talking to you about that, like comparing the two like decisions she's made here. Like, I have to leave, and then what she does in the 8th one.
That's intriguing.
Yeah. I feel like I'm constantly
going
like,
on?
here's like a vague spoiler, and you're like, stop.
This season is just you torturing me, and it's so uncalled for.
Hey, at least after Fate, I know nothing about Fenine,
That's
so we can
true. This is good.
We can experience that one together, but afar, obviously, but together. Yeah, it'll be exciting. No one else cares about these movies as I do, so that's on you.
I accept.
Oh, one more. Can I just say one more thing about Elena? Actually,
yeah, of course.
I'm also very glad that Letty and Elena had a conversation about it at the end.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been so easy for just Dom to be the one talking to each of them in turn and them never interacting or crossing paths. And the fact that, like, Letty was like, thank you for taking care of him, and I understand, and, like, I care about you basically, too, because you took care of him and you matter to him. That, like, means so much to me that they, like, put that scene in. And I also would bet like $100 that it was either Michelle Rodriguez's or Elsa Pateki's idea to include the scene in the first place.
Yeah, that would be interesting to look into to find out for sure. I feel like you're probably right.
The movie's like track record plus like
to quote Giselle, he's a man. Like they wouldn't have thought of that.
Oh man. Oh, good segue into talking about Giselle actually. Yeah.
Betrayal?
Yeah. It still bothers me even now because, especially now with Fenine, we know that like Han is back, right? That means that every single family member that has been killed or murdered in these movies has been brought back except for Giselle. And I just think that that's unfair.
So that definitely means it's doable.
Yeah, they could totally. You don't see her body, and I mean, my screen it's a dark part of the movie, right? So I'm not sure how far she actually fell, but I feel like it's survivable.
Okay, listen, I think if Dom can do that fucking insane leap across whatever on that bridge, they can bring Giselle back. Yeah. Like, Dom said physics who.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
The entire series is like physics who. I think Giselle's fine.
Once again, I am not here for science.
We're here for a good time, not a long time.
That's what they all said. Yes. That is their motto.
And I think, like, it's a super easy way to do it. Like, I get it if Gal Gadot doesn't want to come back to the series. She has her whole Wonder Woman coming, doing thing. It's fine. But it would be cool if she just had a little cameo and, like, this entire time her and Han have actually been, like, perfectly fine. Like, if Han has been secretly alive this entire time, why can't he be secretly alive with Giselle? And he comes back and he's like, oh, Giselle's fine. She's off doing something else.
They're all, like, in hiding or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
working on other stuff. That would make sense. I would totally accept that.
Justin Lin, for Fenine, I know it's already finished, but I'm looking at you.
We'll be watching.
Yeah. Bring back Giselle, 2K21. And she's such a good character too. Like you said, the what is her exact line? He's a man.
Yeah. She always says that. Yeah. And I love how they're all like betrayed, and then Roman's like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yep, get it, yep. And that's, I think, that whole scene is a good example of like, how do I put this? Like, weaponizing femininity in a way that doesn't make it seem like, oh, we're shoehorning bad representation in. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong here, but I liked seeing the tables turn on that, especially since in Fast 5, she's, weaponizing her femininity by walking up in a bikini and getting the handprint on the butt, right? And this time they walk up and you're thinking, oh, maybe it'll be something similar. The two girls are gonna seduce him, whatever. And then no, they just beat the fucking shit out of him and make him. Yeah, I was like, hell yes. So I appreciate that. I feel like every next movie they take a little bit, like a little minuscule step forward in like showing
over here, like, good job.
We see it. Do a little bit more next time. And they do. In general, they do. But yeah, so I like that scene, even though it does have Gina. What's her name on it? Carano? Yeah. Riley. Riley Hicks.
Riley.
Oh, also just Giselle, Han, OTP. I love them. I love them so much.
Yeah, they're still very cute, and I feel very bad for him.
Yeah.
And that's gotta be rough, because everyone's being so, like, lovey-dovey at the end when they're having the family barbecue, and he's just there.
Just like, there, like, I wish I could die. I mean, and I feel like we do need to talk about this, because now we've gotten to the point where the next movie literally in the timeline is Tokyo Drift, which we watched a couple months ago. And in that movie, we know nothing about Han when we first see it, but now we know that he just lost the love of his life, basically, who he tried to settle down with. That's why he's like this depressed fuck throughout the entire thing. It just gives it a little context. It makes it all the more, and it's in Tokyo, which is where they wanted to settle down. That's even worse.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel a lot of things, and I'm sad mostly. And it is cool that it's not really post credits, because like the credits have barely even started to do anything by the time you see the other Shaw scene.
Right.
But what a cool, what's it called when you rewrite the canon? I said it out loud to myself. Retcon, thank you. That they retconned like how Han died, basically. And I went back and watched the original scene, like from Tokyo Drift, just to compare it. And it is basically like the same exact thing. You just don't see anyone getting out of the car that crashed into him and walking away. And I do think it's like funny in retrospect, because so in Fast and Furious 6 we see Shaw get out of the car, and he's like, "Dom, you're gonna know me soon," whatever he says. And then the car like goes boom in the background. But in Tokyo Drift, we see Sean and everyone like coming up trying to like run. So like no one saw him. No one was like, why did the guy who just crashed into this car, why is he just casually walking out on his cell phone?
This is an excellent question. Who's to say?
I know it's just a retcon, but it's funny to me that
no, I gotcha.
No.
I'm like trying to figure out like in my head, and I'm not gonna like think about it too deeply because obviously it's probably in the next movie, but I'm like, isn't Shaw like second Shaw, Jason Statham Shaw, isn't he like a good guy? Why did you just try to kill Han? I don't understand.
Yeah, well, this is I can tell you this. This is like the basis of why everyone was so pissed after like Fate of the Furious, because so there's this whole campaign called like, I think hashtag like Justice for Han, because Shaw is the villain in the 7th movie. That's fine. And then in the 8th movie, he's like a good guy. Like they like work together with him, and people, including myself, were pissed.
Yeah,
because like it doesn't make sense. It goes back
because isn't he also a DSS agent?
No.
Why did I think he was?
I don't know. He's just like a bad guy. Like he just does bad shit. I think. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but he's a crime dude. He does he does crime.
You're right.
And it like being like there was no even mention of Han, I believe. Like it wasn't even like, oh, this guy who we worked to take down in the 7th movie, we are now working together, and just ignoring that like he even killed Han.
Right.
It's just people were pissed and I was upset.
Don't care for that.
Yeah. But I guess they're making it better by actually bringing Han back in F9, so
yeah, and I hope he beats him up.
Yeah. I mean, not that he can fight, as we learned in this movie.
Or trick him somehow into beating himself up. Seems more accurate.
Yes.
Given the level of nerdiness they have all displayed. That engine scene was great when they're all talking about engines and Hobbs is looking around. I'm like, they're a bunch of fucking nerds.
They're nerds masquerading as like
cool people.
Heist people. Like
I love it.
It's so good. So there's a scene at the end. I already mentioned how I think personally this is the funniest Fast and Furious movie. There's a scene near the end where what's his name? Roman and Tej are, I don't know, barbecuing or whatever, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson walks up and Roman goes, "Oh, Mia, better hide the baby oil." And without missing a beat, The Rock, and this was The Rock, he improv'd this. He goes, "You better hide that big ass forehead."
They're so mean to Roman about his forehead.
God. And Ludacris goes,
spit take.
Spits out.
The most perfect one I've ever seen.
Funny. And it gets it. I mean, it's funny just like in the movie, but then it's even funnier knowing that was literally just, oh my God, what's his name? Ludacris and who plays Roman Pierce? What is his name?
Oh my God. I'm blanking.
He sings. He dances.
Tyrese Gibson.
Tyrese Gibson.
So sorry, Tyrese.
I'm sorry, Tyrese. We love you. It makes it funnier knowing that was literally just like Ludacris, Tyrese, and Dwayne like interacting. Yes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they were a little bit in character, but those reactions had to have been pure Ludacris and Tyrese.
I certainly hope so. I really do. The more of these movies I watch, the more I like Tej. Like, I liked him to begin with, but like I'm like, oh, he's really like more fleshed out a little bit every time. So
it gets better. Also, this movie made me realize that I like Hobbs and Tej as like a pairing. That one scene that they have, I was like, this is good.
Oh my God. And then, wait, which scene are you talking about?
When they go and get the cars.
Yes. Okay. That would. Yeah. That's good, actually. Yes.
It's top tier shit material.
You're right.
Oh, I'm just gonna stake my claim on that. And then at the end, it's funny
to think about.
Yeah. Yes. You're here to hear first, folks. I'm sure that there's fanfic out there. I hope there's fanfic out there. There's probably like 6, and I'm gonna go read them.
Yep, me too. Right after we're done.
Yep.
So I think the last and well, maybe not most important thing to talk about in this movie is like how core the topic of identity is to this installment, which they're not subtle about it. Like, I will not even pretend that they were subtle about it in any of the ways that they brought it up, because they're always talking about like, this is who we are and this is what we do, and if you show me how you drive, I'll tell you who you are. But yeah. I still really loved it. I don't know if I have anything more
to say.
Anything deeper to say about it. Just that I liked it.
I mean, it's good. And you're right, it just like permeates the entire movie. Like, even, they kind of like poke fun a little bit at the fact that like, it's heist crew versus heist crew, and it's like the heist fam versus the heist anti-fam, right? Like,
right.
There's that evil twins comment. So even that kind of like draws attention, like, this is who we are. And they don't care. They are bad. That's their identity.
Yes.
Bad people identity. But it's very, so like you said, it's obvious, but it's good, and it just makes me like, that's part of the reason why I like the series. It is about, you know, identity and family and like who they are and how they race and how that makes them individual humans. And that's really interesting for like an action film, that they have such a like, I don't know, like, this is the message.
Like a focus on that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only time I've seen, I probably would have to think about this more. I could probably come up with another example. But like the only other time I've seen that much focus on, you know, identity is either, you know, when Steve's trying to get Bucky to remember that he's like a person. I would say that there is like slightly more of a focus on identity with like the DC characters maybe, but other than, and DC characters and Iron Man, but other than that, like, not so much. So the focus on identity in this is cool.
Yeah. And it's, again, it's like at this point I would say like superhero movies are almost separate from like the action genre, right?
Yeah, that's true too.
So if you just look at like a hardcore action genre like Taken or White House Down, or like they're all focused on the action of it, not even like the plot or the characters. It's just on the like woo woo, I'm punching you and I'm killing you, boom bam.
No, you're right.
So for like a film series, because it is the entire series, I would argue, even in the first two, the whole series to just like take a step back and be like, we have something to say about like identity and family. That's pretty cool. You know?
It is.
Like, wow.
Kudos to them for doing something different.
Yeah. And something that makes us like care as much as we do. Because evidently we do. we look at the first 15 minutes of this movie and go, ah!
And we scream.
Yeah.
That is something to be thankful for. And I think to close out this episode, we should give thanks. Yeah. Thank you, Lord, for fast cars and also the Fast and Furious movies.
Yes. I love that. A fucking men, baby, as you wrote.
Yes.
As always, we are on Twitter and Instagram. And are we still on Facebook? I always have to ask you because I'm not.
I mean, when I manage to post on Instagram, it shares to Facebook. So
beautiful.
Kind of.
We are kind of on Facebook. It's probably as much as we should be nowadays.
Emotionally, yeah.
Yes. Next month in February, the month of love, we will be talking about my favorite Fast and Furious movie, which is Fast and Furious 7. Is that what it's called?
Furious 7.
Furious 7. Oh man, I wish it had a cooler name for my favorite movie. But that's fine. We'll be talking about Furious 7, which has the best song in any Fast and Furious movie also in it.
Wait, it does.
It does.
Oh no.
Yes. This song made me cry like for months. Okay, anyways. As always, thank you for listening. Please give us any thoughts or suggestions or cooking tips or
yeah, I'll take cooking tips, you know.
We like cooking tips.
Right? And then, you know, catch us the next episode, and until next time, AvengeGirls out.